What's up everyone, it's Gabby Trades here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually recording from a trading floor in Dubai. What am I doing here exactly? I'll get into that in a little bit later. But first, make sure to smash that like button before we start because I think you're gonna love this video. Alright, so the markets are feeling very interesting right now. We're seeing volatility pick up a lot. We're seeing some really clean setups that are starting to form. And there's 3 stocks specifically that I'm watching very closely at this moment. You guys make sure to stick around because also in this video later on I want to show you something that completely changed the way I'm approaching trades right now and how I'm planning to maximize all of these opportunities. The first stock that I'm watching right now is Tesla, and this one is interesting because it's not necessarily about chasing momentum up here, it's more about waiting to see if we get a cleaner setup inside of the larger trend. Now Tesla has obviously been one of the biggest markets movers over the last few years, but recently the stock has started consolidating after a really aggressive run higher. And what I'm planning and paying attention for right now is whether we're starting to build structure within the bigger structure. And a lot of the times, these huge rallies, the best opportunities actually come from patience and letting the stock cool off a little bit, letting the weak hands shake out of the market, and then watching for buyers stepping in to buy around key support zone levels. Okay, so the first thing is I've had some really good trades on Tesla. Actually, I've managed to catch the moves on a weekly time frame. We're charting actually right now directly on Efunded. And I was very fortunate to catch actually this entire move on Tesla. So Tesla for me is still going to be one of the stronger performance. There is a few ways you can think about that. There is the technical analysis that you can do on the chart, but also there is the interesting broader narrative around the company that is still extremely strong. When I look at stocks, first of all, I like to look at them on the daily time frame, and I would like to find setups on the daily time frame. So, for example, when you come on Efunded down here, it's pretty much a TradingView interface. So you can use TradingView as you would normally do so. So the first thing that I usually do, and a lot of my viewers know, is that I use my RTM sort of fib tool and I just draw it in the latest leg of the price action that I see. Now, knowing that Tesla is very strong and obviously the chart is actually holding at a lot of support key levels at the moment. Now, how do you identify these levels? Where you can, for example, go on a monthly chart, right? And then you can draw a line. So for that, I utilize my indicators, but you guys can totally do these kind of things on your own as well by looking on the higher time frame charts. So for example, you wanna look at previous inflection points, such as this one, for example, $299 is one point that was very strong for Tesla in terms of whether price was going to hold there or whether price was going to break out. And we saw a breakout over here. And the one thing that I'm observing here, and that's on the monthly, so imagine that. You need to be looking at these things. So the one thing you want to identify is whether the last bullish leg up here or the previous one was strong. For example, if that was your support. So you can see, yes, indeed it was. There was a break here with a body, so that makes this structure strong. So the one thing I was looking for when I caught this long up here was for this retrace down here to come in another area of support, which obviously are all of these lows where price was trying to bounce from several times, deviated away from, and then price exploded and made a new high. So definitely that zone down for me was a very strong one. So now that we got this out of the way and I understand the previous structure, and like I said, I've been trading it, so I indeed understand where we are. Again, I want to look at what happens in the current structure, and as you can see, again, we're continuing to maintain that bullish order flow. So naturally, what you want to expect here is for price to have a nice, healthy retrace to the downside and then a continuation up, which essentially you're having right now. But that's again on a monthly time frame. So what do you want to do here? Well, basically you want to drop down a time frame. So you want to come on a weekly. That's what I would do. And then you want to check, is this actually healthy? Has there a lot of liquidity been generated at the highs? What is the current structure? Well, on a weekly, it looks kind of all right. You do have a break here to the downside, the internal structure. So you want to go back one more time frame. Look at the daily time frame and look whether you are at key levels. Well, yes, indeed you are, because the previous structure was broken here. So essentially this range is extremely important for your trading right now. So that's a key inflection point. So looking at this and on the daily time frame, what am I observing? Well, right now we're starting to create 3 rising bullish valleys, and that is pretty much everything you want to see. So from here on, I'm actually very bullish on this chart. So whether I enter at market or whether I wait for a little bit of a pullback at around $400, there is a little gap here, for example. But anyway, it seems like price needs to hold around $400. And the other thing is, though, if you look at this chart and you draw your fib tool, right? So that's going to be your 0.1 and your 0.0, because you always draw the fib from the left to the right. So that's the latest price leg, and that price leg is bearish. Another confirmation for you is going to be observing that the 0.5 or the equilibrium of that current price range is holding, and indeed it is. So from here, as you can see, price is trying to bounce from the 0.382. That's not really part of my RTM tool. Essentially, the best areas for price to pull back and to start extending from are 0.236, so that's 375. And as you can see, price already kind of pulled back and reacted from that zone, so that's already pretty bullish for me. Now from here, I could either wait for 417 to be broken out from and then enter on here, or I can wait for a little bit of pullback or enter at market. To me, Tesla is starting to look like a prime setup at the moment. Also, what makes Tesla really interesting is that the broader narrative around it, like we said, is extremely strong. So you have the AI angle, the robo-taxi story, you have the autonomous driving headlines everywhere, and the market continues treating Tesla more as just a car company. Stock number 2 is going to be Microsoft, and the setup is very different, because if you go ahead and compare it to something like Nvidia or any other Mac 7, Microsoft is actually a little bit more controlled and less euphoric right now. So that means that it's probably one of the most discounted ones. What I like about it as well is that institutional money never really seems to leave the stock for a very long time, because every time we get a meaningful pullback, the buyers step in fairly quickly, and that's what's showing you that Microsoft is still one of the strongest long-term AI cloud plays right now. Because we need to remember that the company is tied through OpenAI, Copilot, Azure, and unlike some of the more speculative AI names, Microsoft has massive cash flow and a very established business model behind it. So when I look at this chart, I'm not really thinking about the explosive moves, but I'm interested in the consistency of the trend. So the first thing that I can observe about this chart is that we are, like I said, getting a lot of institutional interest immediately after a massive pullback at a very key level. So that's important. The second thing I want to find out is that, do we have a higher low? Because on a weekly time frame, when I look at this entire structure, right, you need to remember that when this whole move down started, the idea of this move was to grab the low down here. So now essentially we have what I call here a weak high, right? So with the Gabby Trades indicators, that usually comes with some dollar signs up here like that, and we know that this is a weak high, so that is potentially going to be targeted long term. Now the pullback was so deep that actually this started to become very interesting for me. And over here on the long term, I can see that price is actually sitting right now at a key inflection point. Again, same thing as Tesla. You're trying to identify where price was trying to hold and what was the institutional interest around these levels. So over here, you can see that price was ranging, but it was definitely holding the $400 level before it deviated below it, came into a previous area of interest. Why? Because we did have a confirmation here that there is a change in trend, to be more specific. So within this level of interest, we did have a nice bounce that created a new high. So for me, this whole move is of an extreme interest at the moment, and I want to see where this entire move stopped, and it was right about $400. And I can see that institutions were trying to hold that level for dear life. So we had a deviation below it, and then we made a new high. So that's why $400 now becomes a very interesting level for me. And when we started coming down here, I mean, honestly, buying at these lows, there is never any sort of confidence or confirmation that they're not going to come down and take this low and maybe find support again within the zone. You don't know that. So you have to wait and see for some meaningful structure to start it for me. And that indeed started happening within here. So we created the higher low, and we know that this is confirmed now because we have a break. And anything above $400 for me is actually a good trade to potentially target these highs up here at $560. And like I said, this is going to be some sort of a consistent trend, because don't forget, Microsoft, the AI plays, and everything that we spoke about, we are looking for something, or I'm looking for something to hold long term. And then we're moving to stock number 3, and this is the one that I'm probably most interested in right now, and it's called SolarEdge. Now, this one is very interesting because unlike Tesla or Microsoft, this isn't a stock that is sitting anywhere close to euphoric all-time highs. In fact, it actually went through a very brutal decline to the downside for the last couple of years, as the entire solar sector got crushed by high interest rates and weak sentiment, you guys. But now we're finally starting to see signs that the momentum might be shifting. The one thing that I also love about this is that the company already had its earnings, so that's out of the way. It removes a big layer of uncertainty for me, and technically the stock has started reacting out of some sort of local bottom support zones, and volume has been improving over time, which is also very important, and we're going to look at that on the chart in a second. So the one thing that really brought my attention was this formation down here. As you can see, the stock has been suffering a lot of downside. So yeah, maybe potential a lot of upside, but as well as even if you don't get the entire move retraced, it is still worth looking into, because there is definitely some targets here that I do have in mind. Now, like I said, the one thing that I pay attention to is the amount of volume. So this is just regular volume indicator. So the amount of volume that we started seeing here at the bottom of this chart is definitely showing me that there is a potentiality of this chart bottoming right now. The other thing I want to look at is on a weekly time frame. Once more, how is the bottom formation looking? When I get, again, exactly the same thing, I want to see this high, right? Because this high, for me, it was created with the point of taking out this low, and we can see that we have a higher low here. So that's very important. How is the volume up here? It's getting very good. And also, what is this? Well, that was a week high. So with the help of Gabby Trades indicators, actually this is super visible on the TradingView chart immediately. But if you do have a little bit of experience, you can also see that with your naked eye on the chart immediately. So anyways, you have the week high up here, and that's very important because it becomes your point of interest, or it's going to be something what I called SR flip zone, or support and resistance flip zone. So I like to draw it on the chart and see, was that bullish order flow that was potentially starting actually holding at the moment? And I can see that that's indeed the case. We had a break over here with this candle. So that happened in June 2025. And then we had a retest and a continuation. So that's exactly the kind of thing that confirms for me that this has a little bit more room to go to the upside. Now I want to go back a time frame lower, right? Because I want to find an entry that is going to be satisfactory to me. And then, very simple, you can come and try and draw a trend line, for example, again, within the latest price leg. And you can see that this is sort of the break that you had, right? So that's internal price action over here. So there is few things that I could do here potentially as an analyst and a trader. I can look at the latest break, right? And I can look at also the previous break before, and then I can consider that I have 2 points of entry that are actually good for me. One is already playing out right now, and that's on the retrace here within that zone for a continuation up. And the second one is going to be within this bullish candle where we can see, look how much volume there is in that move. Let's get some drawings away from the chart here. Look at how much volume you have in this candle. So the other thing I could do is also wait for that break to be retested, and then I can have a constructive trading plan with a nice stop loss, whether below these lows or even a bit more extended stop loss below a key inflection previous point, depending on my risk appetite on this particular asset. But like I said, one thing that could really help this entire renewable energy space is if we start seeing lower interest rates or even expectations of future cuts. Because solar companies were heavily pressured by high financial costs, you guys, but long term, the governments all over globally, they're still interested in investing heavily into energy infrastructure and renewable energy. So sentiment around the sector can shift very quickly once money starts rotating back in. Now, in terms of targets for SolarEdge, I want to go back on a higher time frame and kind of dissect what happened here in the previous price action. So with the same logic that we found the bottom, I want to see if we had any weak lows that were targeted, because that is going to give me an inflection point. And I can see the first one is actually right here. How can I identify that? Where I can see, well, this low tried to make a new high, but it failed. So now this low was weak. And that's why price completely with a lot of strength came back down and took it. So that becomes my inflection point at the moment. And I'm going to draw it like that down here. So the least that I'm going to expect, and by the way, there were several inflection points as well up here from the same structure here and here. So from here, I can actually long term, this might play over 6, 7, 8 months, but I'm happy because it's a stock and I would like to hold it. It's not something that I would like to trade it in and out. I could definitely expect profit taking around the $200 or $190 area on this asset, which is going to be a substantial gain, even if I enter market right now. So we're talking over 200, 250%. So these are the 3 names that are currently on my radar. Now, this brings me back to the question we had earlier. What am I actually doing here in this trading floor in Dubai? And what was that hack that I mentioned at the beginning? Because here's something that I realized recently, you guys, finding opportunities honestly isn't the biggest problem anymore. The biggest problem becomes, how do you actually maximize them? Because we all know the math by now. Making 10% on a small account is very different from making 10% on a larger buying power. And many of you know, I've never really been a huge fan of the traditional prop firm model. Personally, I never fully understood why traders should have to deal with challenge phases, consistency targets, weird rules, payout stress, because trading itself is already difficult enough. So while being here, I actually started using Efunded, and they're invite only and work with selected communities and educators around the world. Now, the thing I found interesting is that I was able to get access instantly and actually focus on what I care about, which is the trades themselves. Right now, I'm personally trading a 360K account. So let's say I take a trade risking around $2,000 and on one setup, right? I genuinely like, for example. And I can hold these positions across multiple days. Can you imagine? You actually can't do that with a lot of the prop firms these days. Suddenly, opportunities like these setups that we just discussed start looking very, very different, because I'm not only thinking now, do I like the trade? Now I'm also thinking, how can I maximize the opportunity if the setup actually works out? And that's really been changing the way I approach markets recently. So because you're part of this community, I can also extend the same invitation to you guys. You can book a one-on-one walkthrough with Efunded team where they'll show you exactly how everything works works and answer all of your questions personally, because I don't want to be doing that on a video right now. You'll probably see way more of this on this channel because it's becoming a big part of how I'm approaching the markets in 2026. Link is below, and let me know in the comments, out of these 3 stocks, which one would you personally trade? I'll see you guys in the next one.